Good evening. A question. A voice said, "Look me in the stars and tell me truly, men of earth, if all the soul and body scars were not too much to pay for birth." Welcome to Being a Light on the Angel Channel, episode 97, man. I'm going to try to do something special for the 100th. Oh, by the way, that poem was another of my favorite Robert Frost poems. And so anyway, welcome to the show. It's been a really, really crazy week, man. The energetic ocean has just been in hurricane mode, literally and figuratively. As always, want to thank my sponsors, Ernie at Fried Okra Entertainment. Amazing creative. I really enjoyed showing this stuff a couple weeks ago. A couple of you guys got back and shared their thoughts on liking that work. And if you get a chance, go check out his website, friedokra.tv. Yeah, and thanks from the heart, man, for the support and help keeping us afloat, man. I can't thank you enough. And our newest sponsor, Audrey Asciutto, she's a broker at Sebring, Lakeside Properties and Real Estate. Yeah, and she has a really great little Airbnb on the Circle right here in Sebring. It's a really super cool place to stay. It's called Audrey's Place, and I'll try and shoot some links down in the comments below later on. So I hope everybody's like holding out in the crazy weird energy that's going on. We've had this really super intense full moon. And there are planetary things that are just going absolutely insane. First of all, the sun blasted another couple of really big flares that were directed right at Earth. So on top of all the other waves that have been coming, we're going to get a big fat dose here in a day or so. So just strap on, man. Be ready. Like, this energy is so aggressive and it's like prime. It's like the Five of Wands, it's like ready to like light the match and be in an argument, blow stuff up and say shit you don't mean. And like, oh God, man, it's terrible. Also, it really seems to be having a super deep effect on sleep and sleep patterns and dreams and being able to get that restful sleep. So, in my, I've got a breathing technique for everything. If you're having trouble getting to sleep or getting down into really deep restorative sleep, this breathing exercise works really, really great. It's 5 breaths in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 breaths out in a circle. Just go slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just lay there when you're trying to drift off. Like, turn off the sound, have it be dark, and just really focus on that count. And that breathing will, that's the thing about the breath stuff. It does affect your mind and how you're thinking about stuff, but it has physiological effects as well. And you're altering your air intake and your carbon dioxide and oxygen levels and all of that stuff, gets affected in really tangible and profound ways. So make sure that if it's just the first couple of times you're doing it, just like anything else, when you get, like, I don't have to think about the counting anymore. Just pick that one. And like, I've done it so many times. I've got muscle memory for that. So I'm just really concentrating on what's happening in my body and the airflow going in. And it's really easy to get there very fast for me. Like, I do 2 or 3 counts and I'm out. And you get down to that sleep, like you bypass all of the layers that you were going to have to go through just falling to sleep on a regular mode. And it gets you really deep into that place where you feel refreshed. Like, I know I have, and a bunch of people I've talked to have really been feeling like, oh my God, my dreams have been so intense and so vivid. It's almost like living another life during the night. And, you wake up feeling like you need to go to sleep. So anyway, try out that breathing technique. I hope that really works. We had the full moon, we had the sun going absolutely crazy. And we've got a host of crazy things. Mercury went retrograde yesterday. Yeah, on the 9th, today's the 10th. Yeah, Mercury went retrograde yesterday. And it's an intense energy right now. And where it is and what it's playing off of, just really super intense. Mercury, what does the retrogrades mean? It's kind of like the natural qualities of, like, Mercury is all about systems and plans and communication and technology and like all the stuff that we just need all the time. And in retrograde, when that energy is sort of in a reversal mode, like communication problems, emails don't go through, telephone calls don't go through, like, it's just, everything gets a little discombobulated. Traffic sucks. So, the way to deal with Mercury retrograde is not to, first of all, starting stuff under this energy, not so good. Finishing stuff under this energy, super great. So if you're like me and have a list of projects over here on the to-do board, now's the time to really dive into that, clear all of that out, and get ready to move forward into the new push. Anything you've started, is not really going to get wobbed out. But the things you begin right now, like over 40 years of noticing this, it's best to wait, man. It really is. Some people say it don't matter, but it's best to wait if you can. If you can't, forge ahead. Do the best you can. Let me just say hi to everybody, man. Hey, Inga, good to see you. Hey, I hope you're feeling better. Kind of feels like you're feeling better. Tom, good to see you, my brother. Hey, there's Boy, man. Good to see you too. Glad you're here. And Arnie Layton, man, my good buddy, man. Glad to see you, dude. We're gonna have a big deck talk tonight, man. I'm glad you're around for this one. I hope you all are doing really great. And as always, thank you for coming and sharing your energy with us tonight. I think it's going to be really cool. In the promo thing I put out about this, how many shadow-oriented exercises we've done, and like going and doing that work, super worthwhile. And it's been good to focus on that. But especially with the goo going around right now, I want to really get back. I really want to get back to working on our light body, and we're going to do a really great meditation that addresses that. A cool breathing exercise, and then do a meditation. So make sure you stick around for that. So we got the moon, we got the sun, we got Mercury retrograde, we've got Jupiter going into retrograde tomorrow. And Jupiter is about expansion. So in retrograde, it's going to be about contraction a little bit. And then Saturn is in retrograde until November 27th. And man, Saturn in retrograde. Saturn just off the top, you know, the great teacher, and the master of karma in a really huge way. You know, sometimes people get mad at Saturn, and you know, he's often referred to as the Grand Malefic, and it's just because he's relentless and focused on the mission and the karmic mission, the deal you set up with yourself, you know, the lessons that you neglected to learn, not only this time, but, you know, from lives past that need resolution. Man, I had a big bill this time around, and I'm glad I paid a huge chunk of it. Yeah. Anyway, so Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, and then Neptune and Uranus as well. So we've got 5 of the planets in retrograde, like kind of pulling. Yeah, so it's a very intense time. Give yourself a lot of love. Remind yourself, and that's part of what we're going to do in the meditation tonight. Remind yourself that your spark, not your ego, not the personality you've constructed to go through the world, but the spark of your light body, your energy is the source. It's not waiting to get to the source. It is the source. And that connection is open all of the time. And that, after 7 decades of living, seems to be, to me, the only place of actual real truth. Boom, right dead in the middle of the source, above it all, beyond it all, in the center of everything. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight too. You know, you're not hearing so much about Three Eye Atlas since it went by. I've seen a huge diminishment in all of the fake photos and all of that stuff, and insisting it. Good. Yeah, I'm glad, Angus. That's good. But man, I got to tell you, I'm so fascinated with this thing and the way that it's reacting to the sun. And, you know, we're at solar maximum now. So, man, it's just blast after blast. And it's reacting to that. And because it's different composition than anything that's rolled through here before, it's reacting in all these really anomalous ways that no one expected. And man, I love that to the max. It looks like the government shutdown might be over in the next little bit here. And man, that would tickle me so much to be able to like get NASA back up to speed. I want to see some James Webb shots of Three Eye Atlas and like get all of that information. I don't think there's anything released from NASA since late August, 1st of September. So there's been like all of the juicy stuff happened, and we didn't really get to see that released from our guys. So I'm looking really forward to that. Anyway, if you get a chance to scope out some of a lot of stuff I'm seeing on YouTube now is more the science of it, which I'm really digging a lot. I think you will too. All right. I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about the Wyzard of Odd Tarot deck. I got new decks in, both tarot decks and angel decks. And Arnie, I sold you my last one, man. So I'm just like tickled to death to have some angel decks back in my hand. And I've been doing some I'm going to do a little kick out advertising it and talking it up a little bit on social media. So I've kind of been getting my focus together and doing some really good descriptions of them. And I realized that since I've stopped my first show, The Fool's Journey, that I did with Michael Zinn, was solely focused, just like we did the first part of this show on the angel deck. We did that with the tarot deck, and I talked about all of this stuff then, but I realized that I haven't really brought that up. And there's a lot of people you guys out there that have gotten this deck, and it's super cool that it's a tarot deck. But what I want to get into tonight are the extra goodies and why it's not just a tarot deck. It's a set of runes. It's a set of geomancy. It's a set of the Ifa Odus and a bunch of really nice. Hey, Dennis, man, glad to see you. Yes, happy Monday to you too. Oh yeah, I'm glad, dude. You've been using those decks for a while, man, and I think yeah, I don't really I can't imagine not having them in my hand there. They become part of me. As a matter of fact, I got the shiny new ones with the silver and the great paper and the cool printing, but I still like using my 10-year-old worn out, like frayed at the edges. It's like part of me. I don't have to charge it up anymore. It's like I could call it and it would come like see me. So we're going to talk about some of those goodies right now and how to actually use those systems and not just know that they're there on the cards. So let's get started here. There we go. All right. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is actually using, like, this was designed not just to be a decoration, but to be, yeah, let's see if we can make it really big. To be a vehicle for you to get into trance state. And if you just focus on the little black spot right in the center, which represents blank space for me, that's a spot. You can use the colors on the outside and the frequencies of where that is on the outside and use each of those bands to ride down to that little dot. And combining that with a breath and just going down there until your focused vision is singularly focused on the dot, and you're seeing with your peripheral vision the other colors around it. You'll notice that those vibrate and have some motion and really pull you in. And you can go down into there, but you can also start in there and bring yourself out. Some people like to use the red to represent the root chakra, and then ride out on those colors out to the violet and purple where your crown chakra is. So either way works really great. I'd love for you to experiment with it and see what how useful that winds up being for you. And I always love some feedback. As much as this is done, it's always a living, growing thing, and I'm always thinking about what the next edition is going to be and what little changes and additions and that sort of. So I'd love your input on that. It'd be super great. All right. So one of the things that makes my deck different is that there are 3 Magus cards in my deck. And it was inspired, a lot of my deck was inspired by the Thoth deck because I read with that deck for 25 years. I really, really, really love that. As a matter of fact, when I went to go get my first deck, this is like 1985, I went to the little occult bookstore in Atlanta where I was working, and I looked around. There were about 20 decks there, and I had no idea. I had never touched a tarot deck. I knew absolutely nothing. I had no magical training at all. I didn't know what any of the terms or anything were, and I was just going by gut on the artwork. And I went to the Thoth deck and bought that, which I later took home and went, oh my goodness, this is just so way over my head. I can't even believe it. And I went back to the Rider Waite deck. That's what I wound up cutting my teeth on. But one of the things that I liked about his deck was that there were 3 Magus cards in the deck. And for the longest time, I tried to figure out what that was about. Like, why are there 3 Magus cards? And as it turns out, he just liked all 3 of them and wanted to leave that to the reader to choose which one he wanted to use, or they wanted to use. But when I was doing my deck, I still wanted to do 3 Magus cards, but I divided mine up into body, mind, and soul. And this is, or spirit rather. And this is the body part of that. And that for me represents activating your energetic body, gaining abilities over your projective energetic skills, and a whole host of other things. And then the second one was the Magus of the mind, and that's all about plans and programs and constructs and anything that is really a mental focus kind of thing, programming your intent. And then the last one is the Magus of the spirit, and that's elevating up and your connection with your ally, the evolved you that's operating at such a high frequency that we can't really touch in normal circumstances, but it is possible to connect. And that's kind of the goal. Like when you hear stories of famous magicians and wizards, and they talk about connecting with their holy guardian angel, and it's really what they're talking about, that part of you that is happening at the same time on the next level up of evolution. All right, so what are all the symbols on here? Here, let me go back. You know, you have at the top the Magus of power. You have the elemental symbol over here for that particular one. Over here on the right are the keywords. Some of these I think I'll change on my next go through. This is now a 13-year-old deck for me. So I've been really working with this for 13 years. And over the course of that time, I've learned a lot, and my perspective has changed on a lot. And those will probably get evolved in the next one. But these have attributes, but also have the negative aspect of this in case you read with reverse cards. I don't happen to do that, by the way. That's just something I've come to adopt in my own practice. I like read with all the cards upright, and I really focus on elemental dignities rather than the reversals of those cards, which we'll talk about a couple upcoming shows. Up here, it might be a little difficult to see, but up here at the very top of the card, just inside this, the photo, are the god names that relate to this, like Hermes Trismegistus, like Thoth, and Mercury. And all of these, you know, over the course of my journey, I've really come to see like the concept of gods and magic and stuff kind of springs up out of the culture and the place that it's born, and everybody kind of gives different names to stuff. Like if you look at the Greek gods and the Roman gods, how many similarities there are between those deities. So this represents like all of the names associated to that energy. And that's on each of the major arcana cards. All right. So then as we come down here to the bottom, let's go all the way over. Well, let's go over to the left side of the card. As you can see, there's the symbol for Mercury right here in the middle of the left side of the card. So all of the cards have a planetary dignity assigned to them, and the astrological symbol, as well as the planetary symbol for each of these. All right, and then down here at the very inside the photo at the corner, that square with those numbers, 9 of the major arcana cards have planetary squares on them. This is the planetary square for Mercury. And planetary squares, I won't get into the whole routine of that. That's one of my main ways of using sigils. So you do a nice little boom, 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 boom reading, and then you're right there with a planetary square to do a really quick sigil and send something off. So super efficient. Next to that is a little musical staff with some notes on it, and that represents the actual notes of the word magus. And you can use those notes to, like I've done, and we did a couple weeks ago, where I was writing music with people's names. You know, that's an example that the word magus has its own specific frequency, and you could use that to write a song with, but you could also just kind of like learn those notes and use that as a humming mantra. There's lots of ways to use that. And as you go over here to down into black again, at the bottom, the far right, there's the capital letter E, and that those letters that are down there represent the musical key that those notes ideally should be played in. Yeah. And then just to the left of that E are those the whole list of elements: spirit, fire, water, air, and earth. And the magus represents all of those elements and your abilities to have dominion over the elements. And then last but not least, at the far left, down in the black, is the Hebrew letter that relates to this, and the actual what that letter means, which is house. Okay. All right. So all of those symbols, like understanding what the element is, understanding the planetary association with it, the astrological sign. You know, one of the hardest things for me as a reader, and a bunch of my friends, have been like really getting accurate on timings, and the astrological symbols can lend you a kind of timing window at the beginning, right at the beginning of the card. All right. So, when I first of all, my teacher goaded me into doing my deck. Like, I didn't want to do it. It was too overwhelming. It's like 78 pieces of artwork, and then this, and I wasn't even thinking about the manual at the time. So, crafty little devil that he is, the devil, he was like, okay, don't worry about doing the whole deck, man. Just come on, I want to see what you would do with these cards. Just do one card, pick one card. So I picked the magus, of course, and this is the card that came out of that. So this is the very first card of this deck, and I got over the top excited about it, and just exploded after that. And like, he didn't have, like, he couldn't keep up with me. I was like staying up all night and like just getting 2 or 3 hours of sleep. I was really obsessed, man, because it felt so good. And I wasn't looking, and since I just started it with one little small piece, I wasn't thinking about it all being overwhelming. And as I just took card by card by card, it just built really fast, and was one of the richest experiences, and continues to be richest experiences of my whole life, man. So if you're thinking about making your own deck, if you've been dawdling about it, just do a card, man. Just do one card. See where it goes, man. It might light something up in you that you can't even describe. All right, so once I decided to actually go for it, I was like, there was a site called Eclectic Tarot. wow, I'm talking long. Eclectic Tarot, and they were kind of like a compendium for every tarot deck that was out at the time. They had like hundreds, if not thousands, of them, and I'm like, what could I possibly put out there to contribute to that? There were already just amazingly beautiful decks out there. I'm like, okay, I don't want to add just another one to the fray. What can I bring to it that's different? And as I look back over my experience and where I've been, I've been obsessed with divination systems of all kinds of cultures and systems, and I've collected a bunch, used a bunch of them, and there are a few of them that wound up kind of really sinking in and becoming part of my fabric. And those were runes, and runes actually were the very first divination system I started practicing with, and kind of alerted me to, wow, there's really something to this. And the geomantic symbols, and the cool part about this is the runes, that's a Western European thing, right? The next one is the geomantic symbols, which are kind of like the way I Ching, you throw coins and stuff like that. You do that with rocks or other there are other methods of that, and you wind up in the earth. That's the way it was originally designed. You make these symbols. Here, let's see. All right, let's get rid of this. Remove. All right. I don't even know. Okay. Let's remove. How about that? How about that? Did that work? Can you hear? No? You can hear. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. See, as one of my guides in the world, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, back cover, just don't panic. But yeah, all right. Okay, so I guess most of that, where did you guys lose me? At the runes? Okay, yeah, that seems all right. Here we go. All right, so let me just review again here. Get a little focused. All right, let's get this back up. Okay, so basically, use the 16 court cards, which relate to the 16 Magio dues and the 16 geomantic symbols, and you shuffle these bad boys out and you pull a card. And what those symbols down there at the bottom are the corresponding answer. I usually don't do more than one card for those because I'm not really using those for a whole reading, but using those more just as an accent on top of a tarot reading I've already done. Although if you wanted to use them for that, you would be, you'd be in good shape. You could do that. But I really like them as an add-on. All right, and last but not least, you know what? We're gonna make some sacred space, and we're gonna go meditate, man. All right, I'll talk about some more stuff on this next week, but that's enough for now. Just ruined my whole flow, man. All right. So what are we going to do about that? We're going to make some sacred space and go to, the blissful silence. With the light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the brilliant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the brilliant, radiant light of the source, the true light. I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. We come together joyously on this first night of Mercury retrograde. We come together in joy. And love and light. We create our circle, our place of safety and sanctuary. We ask that our guides and our angels be with us this evening. They share their wisdom, their understanding, and their love of the source. And with absolute gratitude for it all, every bit, the good, the bad, and especially the ugly. Especially the ugly. Absolute, infinite, unconditional love. And our wish for bliss to the source. I open our circle. All right, let's see. Yeah, we're going to do a bit of a modified version of what we were going to do. All right, and anybody out there looking for a reading tonight, get yourself on the list, and I'll jump right on them right after the meditation. All right, we're going to go to blank space. Get comfortable. Take a second to release the tension in your upper arms, the back of your neck, and your shoulders. Like we accumulate so many blockages right there. Just really just let go. Loosen that up a little bit. All right, we're going to inhale through our nose. We're going to draw with our solar plexus. We're drawing in brilliant, almost white, golden light, source light, healing, warm. I want you to bring that in through your nose and let it just infuse all the way down your body, really brighten you up. If you have some physical thing going on you need some help with, program that energy up front and send it to that place specifically, okay? Here we go. Inhale. Really fill it up. Stretch. Bright golden light. And release. Sinking down into the stillness. Sounds of the world, the chaos fading away. No mind. Deeper. Silence. And inhale into the nose, bright golden energy, infusing your body and your aura. And exhale, sinking deeper into the silence, the bliss. No future, no past. Deeper silence. And inhale. Make this one count. Last one. When you think you're full, add some more. And exhale. Sinking deeper into the bliss. No time, no mind, no future, no past. Deeper silence. All right, stay there and take a nice deep breath. You're in the blank space of possibilities. Start to become aware of your body. It's glowing, electric. You become aware of a mirror in front of you, and you see yourself. But your body's transparent. You look like crystal. And there's light emanating from your core out all around you, 365 degrees. It's bright, radiant. And you reach out with your hand to touch that energy. And you touch the surface of the mirror, and your hand goes inside. And you can feel yourself filling with energy, flowing into you. And as you look at yourself, you're burning brighter and brighter, brighter. And each breath, your strength grows. You glow brighter. You look down in front of you, there's a big rock, bigger than a softball. And you look down at it, and with your hand, you project energy out of your solar plexus, down your arm, onto the rock, coating it with all of your own energy. And now the rock is just crackling with you. And with your intent, you raise that rock up. And it's not like you're straining with your muscles. That energy is so strong. It's like it doesn't exist. You're surprised and delighted, and do it again and again and again. And you're seeing yourself in the mirror with your energy just brighter than it's ever been. And you start spinning. And you create this egg of spinning energy going faster and faster and faster. And you start to rise up in a slow motion spiral above the plane of our earth. And you look back and see the world coated in all of the energetic flows of the interest wanting to control and own and have and hurt. The chaos of control. And it all, you keep rising, and it all becomes a distant hum, disappearing into nothing. And you keep spiraling upward, brighter and brighter. You're outside the solar system, looking at the flows running between the planets and the sun. And you keep going out further and further outside the galaxy, outside the known universe, outside the multiverse, until you find yourself in just pure, unadulterated light. And for once, you don't feel striving, the need to be, the need to have, the need to strive. And you let yourself, the ego of you, the personality, the construct that you decided to live in this world, and dissolves away, leaving the pure you, the light that is the light. And in letting go, you merge into that light. And you haven't lost yourself. You've not only kept yourself, you've now not become nothing. You've become everything. Everything connected, whole, home. In a place of bliss. No need. No need. No need. And you realize you're experiencing the truth. That you are the true light. And the true light is you. And all the constructs of the simulation and the aliens and all of it just goes away. You're immersed and one in the light. It's worth all 50 years of practice to be able to go there. To feel home and whole. Okay. Yet we're still living in the world. I want you to hold on to that feeling. Burn it into your light. Remember that connection. And begin to come back. Deep breath. Coming back. Bringing the bliss with you into your body. Letting it radiate throughout your light body and your physical body. Take another deep breath. Come back to awareness. All right. Before I get started with the personal readings, I pulled a card, group card, right before the show. Here, let me get set up. And I pulled this card, number 53, Angel of Spiritual Communication. And as much as this is for the group, I'd be curious to see if it resonates with any of you guys. I feel like this one, word for word, they were yelling in my ear. You have been under pressure and experienced many changes in your lifetime. You've taken on too many responsibilities and your creativity has taken a hit. You feel oppressed physically and mentally. Genuine change will seem impossible when your load of activities is too great. Stop being the savior of everyone else. Stop taking other people's projects and give back the ones you can. Scrape the built up ice off your windshield and take a good look at the world. Sometimes you take on other people's loads in order to avoid dealing with your own. Mirror, mirror, mirror. Oh my goodness. People pleasing is a rope that binds you. Do you want to be free to travel, to seek adventure and new involvements, yet you find yourself caught in an endless circle of responsibilities, family, financial, and work? You take on all the total weight of your relationships, leaving nothing for you. It's not your job to always smooth over whatever problems, conflicts, or issues arrive. Stop struggling to keep a relationship going while the other person is not even aware of what's happening. All right, let's see here. All right, Inga, this one's for you, man. Words of wisdom from my friend Inga. Inga, focus. Words of wisdom from my friend Inga. Words of wisdom from my friend Inga. Number 62, the angel of the desire to know. You were defeated, and now you feel the pain and despair. See how your mind is quick to grab the negative wave of energy. This creates doubt and pessimism. This creates doubt and pessimism. Take a hard, objective look at your defeatist expectations. You let your victory be stolen by your own inner skeptic and his doubt and skepticism. You're overdue for an attitude adjustment. Pride is your enemy. Pride is the deceiver. Let it go. No more chat. Release this narrow viewpoint. Your own ego is inhibiting you. It seeks to maintain its image no matter what. Let it go. Just like we just did. Be in the source and let it go. A crushing old wound has been laid bare. You're experiencing intense fear connected with that memory. Your fear that history might repeat itself and that you feel the excruciating bite of that pain. Your vision has been distorted by the past. Allow yourself to be sensitive to a deception in a personal situation. Be fully aware of the reason for all of this emotional turmoil. You are involved in an unfair decision that is hard to correct. Be patient with your emotions. Man, those guys. Okay. Dennis, this one's for you, man. Kind of trippy, huh, Inga? All right, Dennis, 3 nice deep breaths. Really focus. Words of wisdom for my friend Dennis. Words of wisdom for my friend Dennis. Words of wisdom for my friend Dennis. All right, number 48, the Angel of Fertility. Ah, yes. Things are moving fast in your affairs now. News is on the way. Yeah, news is definitely on the way. There will be steady growth and all the cosmic help you need. You're coming to the finish line and the fruition of your goals. You have stayed the course and reached the end of this part of the journey. Yeah. Which means you're at the beginning of the next one. Your efforts will now be completed as messages are exchanged, action is taken, proposals are made and accepted, and mutual settlements will be reached. Any obstacle that you are experiencing can be transformed or resolved now if you communicate directly, for you have found your focus and have the ability to express your energies creatively. Your goals are within your grasp, and new concepts will bring excellent results. Let your enthusiasm attract those who can and will help you. You cherish your freedom of speech and personal expression. Seek to unify all your opposite traits and skills into a single harmonious whole. Establish and affirm the vision of perfect harmony. Find your personal genius and inspire, relax, and heal others. Dennis said that's the answer to my question. You were really specific about what you wanted to know, though. And, the thing I notice about these guys, like the general readings, they always have stuff you can use. But when you have a really specific answer, it seems like every word of that answer like relates to it. So anyway, I'm glad that helped, man. All right, so anybody else? I don't think so. All right, you guys. If anybody's desirous of either of the decks, my QR code at the bottom, wizardofodd.com, or wizardofodd.com is the site. That'll take you right to the page for the decks. Make it super easy. And yeah, sorry for the Mercury retrograde snafu. Glad it was kind of like perfect for this show, actually. So anyway, thanks again for you guys being here. I love you very much. Always appreciate you spending your time and your energy with me. And I hope you feel better leaving than you did when you showed up. So until next week, I bid you a fond adieu. We joyously come to the conclusion of our gathering and bid everyone a fond farewell and send them on their way. We thank the angels and our guides for their wisdom, their understanding, and their love of the source. And with absolute gratitude for all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, infinite, unconditional love. And our wish for bliss to the source. Until next week, be in the light.